Hi everyone, my name is Wendy and I am a Division III basketball player at the Milwaukee School of Engineering in Wisconsin. So the other day I had the opportunity to talk to one of my high school teammates about some of the differences and the similarities between a D1 and a D3 school. It's mostly about basketball since that's what we both play. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video.
So I'm Thuraya. I am a walk-on at American University, which is a D1 program in the Patriot League. And yeah, so me and Wendy know each other because we went to prep school together.
Yeah.
Right. We went to IMG Academy. So you went there for how many years?
I went for 3 years, so since sophomore year until I graduated.
Right. So you were a year older than me, and then I went there just for a year, but we were playing on the same team.
Yeah.
And we had the same marvelous coach. Shout out
Coach P.
Coach Durante. But we both were really excited to make this video, and we really wanted to because I feel like there's not that much interaction between D3 and D1 sports. So I feel like no one knows the differences and how they're similar and like the process to getting there. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
So for Division III, most of the time you kind of have to like send out your like a game to a coach or like your highlights to a coach that way to see if they're interested, and they'll reach back out to you if they are, and basically after that you have to apply to the school, and depending on if you get in, that's if you can go to that school. It's less, I guess, less easy to get into a school just because you play basketball compared to Division I.
Especially because we went from IMG, we watched a lot of different recruiting processes, and like we saw the differences between like what D3 recruiting was like and what D1 recruiting was like.
Yeah.
And they're very different. Like, to put it simply, I'd say like D1 recruiting is so much more luxurious, right?
Oh yeah.
Because they also have the official visits. They get their things, like when they visit, they get their flight paid for, right? They get their flight
Not for Division III. You have to get your own flight to go.
Right. And also I think with Division III, because like I was visiting schools because I was looking at D3 schools too, like when I went to Cali, like it kind of depended on the program. Like if the coach was like extremely hospitable, then like, yes, she would pay for things.
Yeah, I think the visiting, like recruiting in D3 can vary so much depending on the school. But I think most Division I schools are like it's pretty standard to have most things that are like similar with any school, I guess.
Yeah, like there's more consistency.
Yeah, for sure.
We really wanted to talk about like the importance of academics in like Division I and Division III recruiting. And I think like a really big thing that we wanted to mention is I think me and you both like really prioritize academics in high school.
For sure.
Like we knew that it was a key to like playing basketball where we wanted to play if we were gonna get to play. Right?
Yeah, I mean for me I think I've always prioritized academics anyway, so that part wasn't I guess super difficult for me or for you too, I think.
I mean, I think that nothing is that simple, but I think like when you're put in a position where you know your single method to going to college isn't because you have high major D1s, like let's say like high major academic schools like University of Virginia, like if they're not giving offers, then like you realize that like the weight of your academics is a lot. Like for example, for walk-on spots, especially like if you're looking to walk on Division I, like it's very unlikely that someone takes a walk-on with bad grades because the only thing it does is bring down the accumulative GPA of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like having strong academics like widens the horizon of how many schools you'd be able to look at and how many options you'd have. Even when you go to school and like we both like the Patriot League, I think like everyone says is like second from the Ivy League in prioritizing academics over sports in a D1 program. And I think like there's not that much leeway in your academics even once you get to college. Smaller schools, there's not that much like, oh, you're an athlete, so you're fine. Like it's publicized like that, but a lot of the time it's not, especially if you're playing mid-major or D3, like it's not.
Yeah, in Division 3 it's definitely, compared to your school, it's probably pretty similar. The coaches know what your grades are, and you also have like probation if you fail, I think.
Right, yeah.
With NCAA, so. Basically, I had a couple of options when I was deciding where I was gonna go. I could have gone to like some schools where like it was really good academically, but I wouldn't be able to play like their varsity sports.
Right.
And I had a couple of Division 3 schools that I liked. So I visited the D3 schools, and I really liked my school that I'm going to now. So I think it was a great combination between having good academics, but also I was able to, you know, join the varsity team and still play my 4 years of college. So yeah, that's why I chose my school.
Because like for me, so I didn't graduate from IMG. I graduated from Blair, and that school is in the New Jersey area. So it's really close to all the schools in the East. And in the East, there's a really big D3 conference called the NCAA. And so my coach was like pushing me a lot to go see all these schools in the NCAA that were all like small liberal arts colleges. Like, and I just remember visiting them all and just thinking to myself, just because me, like I'm from Dubai, and so I'm from a bigger city, I just didn't envision myself there. So then randomly it was so stressful because I was just kept visiting these schools on weekends, like taking trains, taking buses, and I never liked any of them. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like I was going there, like knowing I wasn't going to like it. And then like suddenly, like my coach started looking for more walk-on options at bigger schools. And then like American University rolled around, like out of the blue, like a miracle sent from God, that like they were looking for a walk-on. And because my major is international relations, like AU is really good for international relations. So like everything just kind of fit together. And because of my major, like I kind of didn't even really think about the basketball. I was like, this is where I should go for my major, like especially because I'm into politics and stuff being in DC, you know? So for me, it was just like, the whole picture fit together. I don't know if you would say this, but like I was late to the whole recruiting thing, you know what I mean? Like I hopped on the train of like, oh my God, let's play college basketball later than most Americans would. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you say that, like, I feel like when people are planning to play high major D1 basketball, they're planning to do so from like 5th and 6th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or even middle school, I think. You see a lot of people start to really focus on getting recruited and stuff like that.
Right. And I think like I was late to the process. I don't know if you would say the same, especially because we're international, but I feel like the layer of like being like introduced to the world of like college basketball in the US late adds to the thing of like looking more at D3 options and walk-on Division 1 options. And obviously that's not the case for everyone, but I think it adds to it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I agree. I think with that too, it's just like the amount of information we knew before like actually starting recruiting process. Like I knew nothing about Division 3 sports like before I actually started looking into it. So yeah. So as I was editing the video, I'm realizing that it's getting a little bit too long, so I might make this into 2 parts. Make sure you guys subscribe to Thuraya's channel. I'm gonna link it somewhere in the video and also in the description. I can't talk, but yeah, that's it.